Hi, my name is Erin McFall, and today's date is October 25th, 2023, and today we will be completing the cardiovascular trace video assignment. I had made this visual aid back in September, but I had issues posting this video, so I'm just going to film it again right now. So to give a little bit of a background of the cardiovascular system, this is an image of it in whole, and now we're going to hone in on specific things. So first off, we have the atriums. There is the right atrium and the left atrium, which is located at the top of the heart, which is right here in the middle of the chest. The ventricles are located towards the lower part of the heart, and it receives what the atriums have. So whatever is in the atriums are going to be pushed down into the ventricles. So now we have the right atrium. Just to talk about the right one, its function is it receives oxygen, poor blood, and it pumps it down into the left ventricle. Then the left ventricle receives the oxygen, poor blood, and it pumps it to the lungs. Next, we have the left atrium. So the left atrium is going to receive the oxygen-rich blood that is coming from the lungs. And then, you guessed it, the blood from the left atrium flows down into the left ventricle, and it is oxygen-rich blood. Next, we can talk about the inferior and superior vena cava. So the inferior vena cava, if you know the meaning of inferior, that means in a lower position. So that is down below the heart. And it is a large blood vessel that flows blood up. Its function is to move all deoxygenated blood back into the heart from the lower extremities, so below the diaphragm. The superior vena cava, superior means up or above, so this is going to be more towards the top of the heart, and superior vena cava's function is it carries oxygen poor blood into the right atrium. So this is kind of where this whole process begins of oxygen or deoxygenated blood to oxygenated blood. Next, we have the lungs. So this is important. The lungs are on either side of the heart, and there is a left side and a right side. The right side has 3 lobes and the left side has 2 lobes. And the function of that is to move fresh air around the body while eliminating those waste gases. So it's going to oxygenate that blood. The lungs sends oxygenated blood throughout the bloodstream and all around the body. Next, we have the pulmonary arteries. So you can see that highlighted in this picture. There are a left and a right pulmonary artery. The left crosses over the heart and it reaches into the left lung. From the lungs, the artery is divided into smaller blood vessels, which lead to capillaries surrounding the air sacs for gas exchange. Next, we have the right artery, and it's the same as the left, but the right pulmonary arteries is for the right lung, and it moves deoxygenated blood. It passes through the veins and capillaries, and then it becomes oxygenated through the lungs. Next, we have the pulmonary veins, which are a bit smaller than the pulmonary arteries. They're located above the heart. There's left ones that are 2 veins that gather oxygen-rich blood from the lungs and carry it back to the heart. And then the 2 right veins are going to gather oxygen-rich blood from the lungs and carry it back into the heart. So that is the function of the pulmonary veins. Next, we have the arteries. So I have highlighted that. Once again, it is above the heart. Carotid and subclavian arteries are some examples, and they are located in the aorta. They carry blood away from the heart and to the rest of the body. This is a little slide showing what capillaries look like. They're small branches that come from the arteries. They're blood vessels that carry blood away from the heart. They control the blood flow and the pressure, and it keeps the blood moving. Here is a depiction of veins, blood vessels throughout the body that collect oxygen poor blood and send it back to the heart. It also keeps blood moving. Here we have venules, which is an even smaller thing. They're small veins that receive deoxygenated blood from the capillaries, and these are going to be below the heart. Here are the capillaries. They're the smallest but most numerous type of blood vessel, and their function is to carry blood and nutrients to the cells and organs throughout the body. And then we have a semilunar valve. There are only 2 of them. They are located between the pulmonary artery and the right ventricle. The other is located in the aorta, between the aorta and the left ventricle, which we saw the aorta is at the top of the heart, and it helps blood being pumped forward into the arteries and not backflow into the ventricles. We have the tricuspid, which is on this image. It is a valve that sits between the right atrium and the left ventricle, and it involves 3 thin flaps of tissue that open up and let blood flow from the right atrium to the right ventricle. Next, we have the bicuspid, which is the mitral, a valve between the left atrium and the left ventricle. Involves 2 flaps of tissues that flap open and let blood travel from the left atrium to the left ventricle. And that is it. That is the heart system. Thank you.